Okay, so I've been looking through old journals again. I have journaled for so long, and a lot since I lost my son. And I found something here that I journaled. I'm not sure. It doesn't say what year it was, but this journal is coming from let me see. Well, shortly after I lost my son, I saw a date of 4/19 there. He died in 7 of 19. So this could have even been before, he died. But I don't know because it doesn't tell me. I didn't put a year on the thing, but it's good information, right? So here, I'm just going to start. It says this week, find magic in the mundane, simple things, and do them with love. You don't have to change every single thing right now. How are we focusing on the things that seem boring, like the dishes and the yard? We will find magic in the mundane and get high vibes from them. Maintain high vibes so that you could see yourself in a brand new life. Focus on simple joys. Sit and notice them. Notice how you feel when you do it. Your environment, your bedroom. Clean up what stresses you out. Tune into what makes you feel good and do it. Talks about social media, like maybe you're listening to the news too much. And we know that this attracts negative energy, because they never have anything good to say. They put us in a place of fear. And is that really what you want to attract? Picking up the pieces of our own life. Realize life is going to be different because we choose to drive and go where we want to go, right? If you were on the fence before about anything, decide this week. Commit to boundaries or finally let it go. See how much you were or are really living. Live into it. Letting go hurts. Create a new chapter. Being present now from today. Without numbing, without distracting. What do you want in your life? Start embodying what you want. We have to have our vibe up. Live in the moment with all of your senses. Who you are, what you want. Say goodbye to the things that just aren't working for you. Open the door to what makes you feel happy, playful. If you were to manifest something, your energy needs to shift. Understand your intentions. Are you fearful? Ask, why do I want to manifest this? Do I need to let go? Heal something? Do I think that this idea will make me whole? Because that's fear. If you think something else is going to complete you, that's fear. Maybe you need external validation. You are good enough, you are smart enough, but you have to do this for yourself. No one or nothing will bring you peace. Instead, what will happen is if you're looking for outside validation, it's going to bring you more confusion and pain. So, bringing opportunity to be more aligned with your soul and your purpose. The career you never thought of. Listen deeply. Tap into the soul self. What keeps repeating? It's time to move in that direction. When you ask for help from the angels, the spirit guides, your own soul, it will come. It will help you. It listens. It tells you. It supports you. It guides you. So pay close attention. Plan new things. Create brand new chapter. Okay, so then this is a message I know I got when I was out in my garden. You are like the grass that has grown in the past few days. So I was out in my garden, and I meditate out there a lot, like during the spring, summer, and fall. And I was noticing that I had all this ground cover stuff growing, and there was grass in it, and I had just weeded it. And I was thinking to myself, like, how can there be grass? I just weeded it a couple days ago. So here's what I heard. You are like that grass that has grown in the past few days. The place you just pulled them from. This grass will never stop trying to live, even through the darkest of nights. Those 4 nights without the moon shining, it still grew. It grows in places you don't even want it to, just like you. You strive to survive even when someone or something comes along and plucks you from your earth. It feels like there's nothing left, but there is. The grass seeks the light just like you. You are the grass, Mom. And it feels like your whole stem was uprooted, but it's where you grew the hardest, the fastest, the strongest. You will keep growing, and you will continue to be plucked out once in a while. Notice the grass as it comes back, and then notice your own growth. You are the grass that wants to live, even on the coldest nights and covered in snow. It rests when it's dormant, but each time the sun comes out, it seeks to grow and to live. You need some sunshine in your life, things that make you smile. The fairies in this garden filled with grass that you can pluck out and watch it regrow. The grass, it just knows how to survive, and it doesn't really think, I'm afraid to reach for the sun. No, it instinctively reaches for the sun. It chooses to grow. It chooses to live always. So, you've been through the darkest time in your life. You've been laying dormant through the snow, the wind, the rain, the below zero temperatures. You feel numb, but it's turning spring with more light and longer days now. More sunshine and light, for the grass is why your whole weeding job looks like it never happened. It's been less than a week, very dark nights, but very sunny long days, and the grass has grown so much. It's been dormant, just like you. You will keep growing, and it won't always be in areas you want to grow, but you can't control everything that you think you might want. Growth in areas you don't want to grow. It's not up to you, in the garden or you. Follow the sun and reach for the light. So that was something that I heard in my garden. I know it was my son talking to me, and I just wanted to share it because I was in a place where I didn't understand that I was growing. I didn't really even know if I wanted to grow. I was struggling. Well, thank you, hallelujah. Yeah, I mean, it's true. We all struggle. We all do. And that's how come I decided to do this reading, because I know of some people who watch my channel that are struggling right now. And that's why I was looking through the journal. I wanted to see if I could tell her anything. She lost someone too. And I mean, I'm like 4 years farther along in that journey than she is, that grief journey. And I just wanted to see what I had written down, because I know that I was channeling. So now we're going to just talk to Spirit. And Spirit, what I want to know is everyone who's feeling like in a rut. I'm not doing signs. I'm going to do this for the collective. If you're clicking on this and you feel like you're in a rut, then it's probably for you. So Spirit, let's reach in for all of the people that feel like they're in a rut and they don't know what to do, and give me some advice. Seven of Cups. It's going to be like new opportunities. Like, are you just focusing on one thing? You know, have you thought of all the other things in your life, right? The Hermit card. This is about talking to your higher self, talking to Spirit, asking for answers, asking for light, asking for whatever it is that you want clarity on, right? It looks to me like it's something about grief here. So you're sitting here and you're thinking like, man, I've just lost the most important thing ever through Five of Cups. What am I going to do now? Well, part of it, part of this is saying like, it is those dark moments that drive us to this place where we have no other choice but to reach for the light, source energy, our higher selves, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like maybe one of the pieces of advice is to maybe focus on something different than what you are focusing on with that Seven of Cups, because it's showing like 7 different things, right? Like, are you focusing on money, love, learning something new, your home, nature? There's all kinds of things to focus on. You don't have to focus on just one thing, is what I feel like that's saying. It's confusing. I feel like there's healing here. Like this is talking about you healing from this. And also, she's sleeping. She's having a nap. She's lying down. So I feel like that's when you get the messages. I also see the Six of Swords, which is Spirit, God, your higher self, angels, guiding you out of this specific energy of maybe it's non-activity. Maybe it's just like you've been healing for a long time, or trying to heal up for a long time. But I kind of feel like when you go into this, like meditation, this place where we go when we're hurting and we're talking to, I call it God when I'm in that place. You know what I mean? I do. I reach for that source energy, that strength, right? But I think it's important, like what we learn while we're in that hermit mode is like, that strength is always in us. It's that soul piece of us, very strong, very wise, very loving inside of us. And I think when we really reach in and ask, they guide us to safety. I feel like things are about ready to turn around here. Like, I don't know, but I feel like this is definitely talking about Spirit helping you. I do feel like when we're stuck in this grieving place here, it shows this girl crying at the river, right? She lost something. She can't handle it. She feels like everything in the world is against her. She feels like the universe is against her. I'm being attacked. Why? I feel like where Spirit is leading you is to understand this like soul power that you have, the power that you have inside of yourself. Hi, Joni. So I kind of feel like where they're leading you to is maybe understanding your power, how to use it. I feel like even like over here in this, I have it even like I even have it separated for some reason, because it's almost like, this is kind of where you're at. Crying down by the river, feeling like life is giving you lemonade or lemons, right? Right? And you're like, what the fuck, man? How come I can't catch a break? It's clarified by this 10 of Cups. So what I'm feeling is like maybe you are even like whatever happened like is about unconditional love. It's about family love. And maybe that is where you're feeling the attack from. You know, maybe it's about your family and maybe you don't understand, you know? Okay, so Spirit, give me some advice. A new idea is what it's saying. Ace of Wands. Like there's something happening here. It's coming from this Eight of Wands. You see what's happening in the Eight of Wands, right? She's actually using a wand with the wind, manipulating energy, manipulating her own life, her own reality. She's changing something on her own. This could be like a great new idea, but it could also be like a brand new beginning for you. So in the middle section here, we've got the Hermit, Six of Swords, and the King of Wands. So this is telling me that when you go in and meditate, you know, spirit, God, higher self, source energy, whatever, is guiding you to King of Wands energy. And I see it here too. Like, I feel like you don't know your power, like your soul power, like your wand power, you know, your magic, your soul. Like, I don't feel like you understand it, but I feel like you will. But the thing is what you're focusing on here is just the grief. You're just focusing on the grief. And I kind of feel like, you know, if you were to focus on something else, let's see. Tell me what the King of Wands wants to do for these guys in a rut. Tell me what the King of Wands. There's a new beginning. Page of Pentacles. There's another one at the bottom too. You see, I mean, you have the power to like create whatever you want here is what it's saying. Like, this is a card of standing up and taking charge of your own life, your own reality. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of strength. It is. And I think it's strength that you know you have somewhere, but you're for some reason unable to grab it. You know, it's because of this grief, and it is completely, grief is the hardest thing I've ever experienced. It's the hardest thing to get through. And I mean, what I'm seeing here is like you're even guarding yourself against, you know, from love. Like you're almost like feeling like you have to like guard yourself from everyone and everything. Like you can trust no one here. That is just not a good energy to be in at all. Like that feeling. You have to at least know that you can trust you. You know what I mean? You have to at least know that. Tell me why the Ten of Cups is here. Why are they guarding themselves from this? Because that's where the Tower happens. Because that's what the Tower was. It was like everything that you believed was real came crumbling down. The Tower. You know? So what do you do with that? You start over. You fucking start over. With confidence. You see, this is all this wand energy. Like, wand is spirit energy, you know? It's your soul energy. It's all that is energy. It's the magic. You can't always see this magic. It's something that you just know. You know what I mean? It's something that comes in through crown chakra. third eye chakra. It's like little hints about who you really are. Okay. So tell me, so it looks to me like, here's what I see at the end, like the bottom of the thing. I feel like there's a new beginning coming. And I feel like it has something to do with you standing up for yourself, taking charge of your own life, understanding that you have that emperor energy, the one that demands what he wants. He creates what he wants. This is divine masculine energy. Much like the King of Wands that came out. So it's like your soul, when you go inside with the Hermit card and you talk to them, they start to move you in a new direction. And the direction that is taking you is to King of Wands, which is understanding your power. Let me see what's happening here. Hey, Erica. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. I hope you're enjoying the message. I'm really trying to bring a message through for the people who feel like they're in a rut and they can't get out of it, like a negative rut, you know. And it is talking about grieving something. It's talking about feeling like you're being attacked, you know. And it looks to me like the reason is because your whole idea of love and family and 10 of Cups, unconditional love, is what came crumbling down, you know. But I do feel like, you know, your higher self is wanting to move you in a new direction. And I feel like it could be about work, you know, it could be about money, because you have a Page of Pentacles and a Page of Wands, and then the Emperor. So it's almost like there's this higher self of yours, you know, your higher self is like guiding you in a new direction. I don't know, but I feel like you're going to know, because you've got new beginnings on here, and it's something you're creating yourself. And I feel like whatever you're concentrating on is important. So remember that Seven of Cups where you could be concentrating on just one thing. Don't. If that's what's causing you to feel like shit, concentrate on just something different. Tell me, Spirit, what can they concentrate on? Show me what they can concentrate on. Like, how can they shift this energy? How can they get out of this rut? Stop fighting with yourself and allow your soul out. The Fool. That's where the soul comes out and starts taking the lead. It's just dying to do it. In this card, look how excited she is. Let me at it. But the Five of Wands came out with it too, saying like, you're struggling with it. You're having an inner struggle with your own soul, who wants to assist you, who wants to lead you down a brand new path. But you're so focused on this negative thing that it's kind of like you can't hear it. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, okay. All right, so stop arguing with your soul and let it lead you. Yeah, I mean, this Two of Cups, it can be about love, right? It can, but this is not a love reading. This is about being stuck in a rut. And the Two of Cups can mean a lover, but I'm going to say that it's you and your higher self getting together and making a plan. Go in the same direction. Like, your soul is your strength. Your soul is your balance. Your soul is the secret to like figuring out that heartbreak that you can't let go of. There's a journal on this bed with the Three of Swords, and it's not in every Three of Swords, but it is in this one. And so I don't really want to not mention it because sometimes, like, I don't know if you watched the beginning, but I read you some old journal entries. And I read them because I want you to know that that is what happens. You know, the whole grass thing. That was some brilliance coming in from another realm. Something that helped me heal. Even today, as I read it, I remembered that day. I remember the tears. I remember the feeling. That feeling of peace that came over me as I heard him say, like, you are the grass. You keep trying to live. It's who you are. Ten of Pentacles is here at the bottom of the deck. This is something you don't see, right? You know what's bringing it in? The Sword of Truth. Now I want you to see what else is here, right underneath the Sword of Truth. It's the Queen of Swords. You know who she is. She is me, man. I'm a Gemini. And I actually read a journal entry about that today, too. Like, I am the Queen of Swords, and the words are my weapon, and sometimes I can really hurt people with them. That was another journal entry, something that I realized about myself, right? But the Queen of Swords is also about setting boundaries. It's about standing up for what you believe in. It's about speaking your truth. It's about knowing your truth. It's about being logical and not emotional, making decisions logically. So it almost looks like this is the advice. Use your sword. Make the boundary. It might even have to be with yourself. Like, man, I've got to retrain my brain to start thinking about something else. You know, I need to put my focus on, I don't know, have it be something fun. You know what I mean? Something you enjoy. Put your focus on a project. You know, what are the projects you're working on? And if you're not working on any, why? Why aren't you? Okay. So, I think it's the truth. I think it's the setting of the boundaries, speaking your truth, standing up for yourself, making sure things are fair. Six of Pentacles, right? This is about equal give and take. And if you're feeling like something isn't fair, it's time to lop it out of your life. Queen of Swords style. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Use it. We're all capable of using that energy. It's kind of like you just take out your emotions and you think logically about something, what you know, right? So you're lopping off what doesn't serve you anymore. I feel like you're setting a boundary with yourself here with this Nine of Wands, because this is a lot like this other one, you know. It's almost like you feel attacked, right? Like nothing's going your way, like nothing is fair. Fuck my life kind of feeling. I hate my life. I don't want to do it anymore. I can't handle it anymore. Yeah, you can. Like, your soul planned all this. Now you just need to figure out what to do next. First thing is change your focus from what you lost. Here is another little tidbit of information. It's the Knight of Cups. So, the Knight of Cups, well, you can see by this card, this is a cat that's pretty happy, right? Cat, dude. It's a dude, but I don't know why I said cat. But he is just like spreading love everywhere he goes. Do you see it? It's like he has a love bubble maker, and he's just like everywhere he goes, he behaves that way. And I feel like there's something pretty cool about energy like that, because when you're leading with love like that, do you think you have room to feel like that? Probably not. Probably not. Nine of Wands. It's that card where you feel like a victim. It's also the card where you realize, wow, I have learned so much. And then your soul pushes you to help other people that are going through the same shit. Is it about sharing your story? Sometimes. I think it's about your sharing your victory. You know what I mean? It's about how you got through it. It's kind of like, let's say, you've been a few years down the road in this, processing this, journaling about it. And you meet someone else who's here. But you've already really learned that, all of the things that this darkness has taught you. Like, I feel like, once we get to a certain point, we really do start to grow. We start to see our own light, and we start to lead with love, and our life starts to change just little by little. But we start getting really cool ideas. We're focusing on love now. So what do you suppose happens when we focus on that? Instead of, let's say, money. Like, I know money is real. I do. But I think in my journey, what I learned the most about is money. Like, I lost my son, and I feel like what I learned is like how much time I wasted worrying about money instead of playing with my kids or, whatever. I spent all my time chasing after the dollar. I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted better. I wanted to be independent. And so I did. I did. But since I lost him, I feel to myself like, man, I wish I would have done that different. I wish I wouldn't have put so much focus on money. I wish I would have focused on love. Because I think the whole thing would have had a little bit different outcome. You know what I mean? I do. But I'm sure that that was my soul plan. And so I can't sit and feel like a victim about it. I mean, I made those choices, and probably for a reason. Same like everybody else. But sometimes our choices are the thing that causes, I don't know, more awareness. You know what I mean? Figuring out what needs to be changed and changing it. Because that's what I feel like is happening here in this picture. It's almost like while you're healing, something spiritual is happening inside of you with this Eight of Wands. Like something's changing inside of you. Perhaps your soul getting louder. Perhaps your soul guiding. Humans still broken. Humans still feels attacked. So here's the key. It's just about that. Leading with love. How are you loving yourself? For starters, what are you doing to love yourself? What can you do? Have you ever thought about that? Like, how can you love your soul? What can you do to show your soul honor and love? What can you do to love your body? You know, because it looks to me like it's your human. And I would say maybe your body is manifesting illness. It could. But I think it's your mind. You know what I mean? It's our thoughts, really, that just go crazy. You know what I mean? We think of everything. Think of everything bad. This is how come you're fighting with your higher self. You know, this is like a fight with your higher self. Your higher self is like, let me lead. Please let me lead. I know just where to go to change all this shit. Human being. No, I don't think so. I'm here. This is where I'm at. And it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about feeling this way. It's just that if you're in a rut, what happens, I feel like, at least in my experience, is I think my body got lazy. You know what I mean? Because it's really hard for me. Like I isolated so bad. I wasn't leading with love at all. I wasn't loving anyone, including myself, for a long time. But I mean, it's all a choice, you know? And I think like when you realize that, like it's a choice to allow your soul to lead. Where your soul wants to lead you is the truth that leads to like happiness. You know, it wants you to stand up for yourself and for everything. You know, if something's not fair, you need to cut people out, period. You know, you just need to, because it's about loving you. So if you have someone in your life that's fucking with your mind, is it good for you to be around them? Because I feel like what your soul is telling you here, at least through the cards, is like you need to walk away from people who just aren't fair, because they're keeping you in a negative vibe. And don't forget what I said about the other stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you listen to when you're home? Have you ever thought about listening to energy that, or stuff on the, like YouTube, that will dissolve negative energy and turn it into good? Because that's a reality. Do you listen to that? What about while you sleep? Are you listening to anything positive then? What can you do to love yourself? What can you do to change this feeling that you're feeling? Or do you even want to? It's up to you. It's always a choice, and it's yours. So do what you want, but if you feel like you're in a rut and everything is fucked up, happening over and over and over, you might want to look at what you're thinking about, what you're listening to, what you're watching on television. What is that feeding you? More negative? More fear? Or is it lifting you up? Because I feel like it's important. Because what you have coming is Ten of Pentacles, a new beginning here. This could be a new job. Your soul knows the way. Your soul knows the way. So whenever you're ready, whenever you are ready to let go, let go. You know, do a little ritual. And I honestly, I do work with moon energy, but I feel like something this big, I mean, this is between you, your soul, and source energy. And that can be done anytime. You know what I mean? So write it out. Write it out. How do you feel? How do you want to feel? What steps can you take to change what's going on? Because it looks to me like you're really stuck. Your soul doesn't want to be stuck. It knows the way out. It's just up to you to decide, you know? Hey, Helen. Oh, Helen. I wanted to know, Helen, how is how is it going? Like, I know that you went and had counseling session, right? I was just wondering if you want to share with us. Good job, Dan. My daughter went and got some seeds the other day and brought them here and said, I don't know if you wanted to start some gardening in the house. And I was like, okay. Spent money to love yourself. Well, I climbed into a hole, um, Helen. I climbed into this whole story here is pretty much mine. Like, all this grief, all this, oh my God, I'm the victim of everything. That was me. And it was also me arguing with my higher self whether to take a chance on doing something. But it's so funny how it works. Like, because I was looking at this and I'm like, well, what happens is, like, it's something you just get an idea and then you just do it and you don't think about it. Kind of like my YouTube station. Dude, I just did it one day. I just started it. I did a moon reading and it wasn't very good. But I did it, and that was my soul pushing me. I mean, I didn't start really doing regular videos at first, but I did it a little bit. And then there was one other thing too where it was like a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I just went and rented this building. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. And then I put an ad up saying, like, I'm going to put on a metaphysical event. And it worked out. Like, it was those kinds of things. That was my soul, like, just taking over. What is this, like, here? Like, that was the soul just going, like, I'm changing something right now. And it was just so crazy how I didn't, like, overthink it, because I overthink everything. Like, I can think of every bad possibility that could ever happen. I'm a Gemini, so I'm just constantly going, right? Anyway, it snowed last night. I'm pushing Mother Nature and Spirit. Counseling will go well. I can release without being told not to. Yeah. I know, me too. It's snowy here too, Dan. I'm not going to get to plant anything outside for a little while, I don't think. But she brought some seeds, and I was thinking, maybe I should go out in the shed and look for some little pots. I know I have them. And put them in my windowsill, maybe. Just start the seeds. It could be fun. All right. So that was pretty much this breath message. Should we get some messages from this Tarot of the Heart? We'll just ask for guidance. Like, we just want advice for all of us who feel like we're in a rut and we can't get out of the rut. Tell us something. Spirits, angels, guides, love you so much. Release. Yeah. Release. Doesn't fit you anymore. I love this death card because it's just kind of like shedding an old skin. Like, this doesn't fit anymore. It could be a belief that's holding you back that you had since you were a kid. It could be anything. And you know what else too? Like, go with the flow is here. Like, this is like Wheel of Fortune, but look at this. I noticed this the other day when I was reading, but I didn't say anything. But I was thinking about this. Like, do you see, this is like a pearl of wisdom, right? And this guy is looking out over the fence at something else. Like, this is the Four of Cups. So it's like missing an opportunity. Four of Cups is about something cool happening, but you don't see it, or you feel like you missed out, right? So this person is almost like in that grief spot we were just talking about, looking at the old days, the way it used to be. But what he's not seeing is the pearl of wisdom that it gave him. I've never gotten that off the card until the other day. And I was like, why didn't I say it? Maybe I didn't say it because I was saving it for today. Because I feel like sometimes, like, I mean, I don't know how you guys all feel, but I do feel like everything in my life, it's all changed me a little bit. But the worse it hurts, the bigger the change. And I kind of feel like when you can understand that, what it gave you, that's the justice, right? That's understanding the reason behind it. Like it was happening just for you, for your growth. I don't know. I feel like that's an important piece of the puzzle. Don't forget that everything that you've gone through has been like a pearl of wisdom for you. Maybe instead of lazy, the body connection got distorted. Yeah, something. I'm just saying, like, I got used to it, is all I'm saying, Erica. Like, I really didn't want to move, and I didn't. I stayed in bed for a long time. And so here I am almost 5 years out, and I have a very hard time leaving my house because of it. You know what I mean? Like I almost got comfortable in it. I almost got comfortable in the pain or in the non-activity. You know what I mean? And I think that part bothers me because I still struggle with it. Even when I'm doing it, like I've been door dashing, which is just delivering food, and it should be very easy, but man, I have to almost beat the shit out of myself to get out of the house. Like I don't want to go. Ever. So, I don't know. All right, so here's the Seven of Swords, and this is about seeking the truth. It's about peeling back the veil and looking a little deeper into the light, like the other side of the picture. Like sometimes I feel like we just feel very human, the end, but this is just such a tiny blip of time compared to what our soul really has lived and will live, like this little experience here on the planet. And I think that maybe, looking into this reality, the truth of the bigger picture, you know, could be very helpful. I see the Wheel of Fortune here. I think that's Jupiter. God, it's either Saturn or Jupiter. And both of those planets are really interacting right now with Mercury, the Moon, and the Sun. So, Wheel of Fortune, it's good luck. It's a shift. It's a change in energy. It's a change in perspective. And this is what even came out. Like, here's your advice. Change your focus. Remember when I said that earlier? Like, what are you looking at? What are you focusing on? Because whatever it is, there's more coming. You want to watch shitty news that says that our world's going to blow up in a day? You're going to get more shitty news like that. Change your focus. And here's something too. This is the Four of Swords, and that came out in the other part of the reading. It's about healing. This one is called Just Breathe, and it's about meeting up with your soul. And I want to tell you right now that breathing has everything to do with reaching that soul. Deep breathing, intention, like I am going to talk to my soul today. It's all about breath work, paying attention to the breath instead of your body, instead of your mind. Like if your mind starts tripping out on something else, it's okay, but go back to focusing on the breath. Go back to focusing on, here's something that I learned whenever it was very first starting meditation. It's like if you're laying down on a bed, let's say, on your back or whatever, and you put your hands like on your belly, and what you're paying attention to is the rise and fall of your hands as you breathe in and as you breathe out. These are slow, controlled breaths. Now, if you are concentrating on your breath, slow, easy, in and out, and the way your hands feel as they rise and fall on your belly, and then your mind starts to act up, it starts thinking like, well, I better go start dinner. I need to do 10 loads of laundry. Oh my God, I forgot to feed the dog. All of this stuff starts coming in. Go back to the breath. Just leave all that on hold and start concentrating on your breath. Work again. That's what this card is all about. And I feel like that's what it's saying. Like there's an opportunity for something to come in for you, right? But I feel like what's happening is you're going to have to release something. And I think it's whatever is grieving you. Because you see at the bottom of the deck, remember what I was saying? It's like everything we go through that's really, really hard, that knocks us down, that changes who we are. Like the death of a child, the death of a husband, a loss of a job. It knocks us all the way down. But at the end of the day, you have real valuable information. And the truth is, we are living in kind of a weird time. It's a time of a mass awakening of all human beings. Not everybody probably is going to wake up, but that would be the hope. You know what I mean? To like be aware of the higher self, be aware of the other realms, and be aware that you came here to teach something. And in order to teach something, you first have to live through it. You first have to know it. And that's how I feel about every fucked up thing that's ever happened. I'm a pretty good teacher. I can teach a lot. I've been through a lot. So have you. So have we all. And we all have a unique thing, a unique take on it. And it doesn't mean that my way is right and your way is wrong or vice versa. It just means we have something to share with the collective, like how to reach your soul, like how to really reach it, how to peel back the layers, find the truth, how to let go of something, how to change your focus from your mind spinning and spinning and spinning to just concentrating on your breath. You know what I mean? All of those things are things that I've learned because my son died. All of them. So when I look at that experience, I do feel grateful. Because I don't think I would have shut up long enough or sat down long enough to pay attention to what my higher self was saying to me. I don't even know if I would have ever found it. I was a pretty lost person. So that is your message today, you guys. And I hope that it made sense to you. Don't forget who you are in this universe. And whatever it is you're going through, take notes, man. Keep a record. Because there's going to be a time when you can't really remember what happened. But you can look back in your journal and you can see your own growth. And on a day like I feel like, oh my God, my life is falling apart, I can look back on it and go, man, you've come a long way. You should be very, very proud of yourself. Look at how beautiful that new skin is. Once you released all those old ideas, These are ideas like, well, they could be anything, but I feel like sometimes they're about our self esteem and our self worth, you know? Because, like, as you start to help other people with your knowledge, I feel like more and more of that sloughs off and you become more authentically yourself, your soul self. You start to shine. And it's not about physical beauty, it's about your soul shining, your aura changing, and your healing abilities start amping up. I mean, you start really living this life of this new being without all those old beliefs, you know? So, Joni, I know, right? Thank you, Erica. Yeah. I kind of think it is important to like write down it how you feel. I think there's something very, very healing in the writing exercise itself. You know, I mean, I know kids don't always write, but you know, you can draw, you can create things, you can paint. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get it out, but the important thing is that you can see your growth, you know, your spiritual growth. At least that's how I feel about it. Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go, and I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope that someone got something out of it. Joni, loving you, sister. Erica, love you. Helen, love you. I hope you guys have a great day.